Soccer fans, the time has come. The 2023-2024 Premier League season is set to kick off this weekend, and Matt and I, Jason, are here to preview every single match week with you. Hey there, Matt. How's it been going, man?
Oh, great. Week one of the Prem.
Yep.
Jason, to break it down with you, there's some tasty matches, and Liverpool traveling to Chelsea, obviously, for me as a Liverpool fan, is really a solid week one.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly look at the 10 fixtures, and that one's definitely going to be the one that stands out. And it's going to be what we anticipate being the best battle amongst those 10. We did last week. We did the season long preview show. So if you had a chance to check that out, make sure you do. We went through the transfer window recap, and then obviously talked about our season-long predictions. So go check that out. We're here, like we do every single Thursday throughout the Premier League season. We're going to preview each upcoming match week. We're doing this one. Don't kill us in the comments section, because we're actually going to record this one on Friday, even though you're watching it the week of the Premier League. This was recorded last week, so maybe teams have had some transfers in and out that we're obviously unaware of at this point of doing recording. So don't kill us in the comments section. We're well aware of what the hell's going on around here. Matt, Premier League, so excited to jump back into it. Let's do that, and let's jump on into it. Let's kick it off with the first game. It's a Friday afternoon. Newcomers, Burnley, at the Turf Moor, welcoming the Premier League champions, Manchester City, into town. How do you see this one unfolding there, Matt?
Yeah, Vincent Company going up against his old squad. Um, it's it's a very interesting match to handicap, just because you don't know what exactly 11 you're going to get from Man City, and you know I think that it should be a comfortable win though, even on the road. Going to Burnley, going to Turf Moor has always been kind of a tricky place,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say that Pep Guardiola and co have enough here to get the job done. I mean, hence minus 340 here, and
Right.
um, I think that they get the job done. So that's really all I have to say, though. That's kind of we're going to be doing a parlay, I think, for each week, and that would be that's my leg of the parlay.
Yeah, it will be a little bit different this week. Normally we'll sit here and you're stat heavy, I'm stat heavy. We'll do corner kick analysis, card analysis, goals, concede. You just don't obviously have that in all week one, right? We're trying to make predictions based off the transfer window and just who you are and how we think you'll be in the upcoming season. But one thing that stands out, like City does a lot of their opponents, is they just dominate the head-to-head. I've been scrolling back. You have to go back to 2018, the last time Burnley was able to get any amount of result. They got a draw on that one, 1-1. Otherwise, it's been 6-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 5-0, 3-0, 5-0. You know what I mean? 4-1. So it's been class beating up on Burnley. Don't look for a runaway there in the score on this one, though. Guardiola has tipped Vincent Company to take over for him when he leaves Manchester City, and I don't think he's going to do him dirty by running up the score. And maybe in week 1, too, the chemistry won't quite be there amongst the players, so maybe that'll help keep the game low scoring. But Matt's exactly right. When it's all said and done, they're the Premier League champions. I do like how you said on the Premier League preview show that maybe Phil Foden would drop into that central role. I ended up reading a couple articles after that show that was right on there with your line of thinking that maybe you will see Phil Foden tucked in there in the middle alongside De Bruyne. So I like that. As long as Foden's on the field, I feel confident, like his ability. So I'm with you. Manchester City certainly gets it done. I would be a little bit nervous, though, on the clean sheet victory. You get these new teams at home kicking off a Premier League campaign. Remember a couple seasons ago, we were on Brentford when they opened up the campaign that Friday night against Arsenal, and Arsenal lost that game. I don't think Burnley picks up the win or a point, but I do look for them maybe to find the back of the net at home in their Premier League campaign.
Yeah, I mean that would be a trend to go against, though, is the last 7 head-to-heads and so on.
Right.
Man City have a clean sheet, so
If they have,
that
they're gonna. I don't know how to pronounce that, guys, but the Leipzig center back is. You think it'll be too soon? He's supposed to take his medical today. We're doing the recording on August 4th. I think it's probably too soon for him to
yeah,
get in.
that they have so many center halves. They're fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, all right. So we both definitely see a Manchester win up against the newbies Burnley. Another one going on to Saturday's actions will be Arsenal taking on newbie there in Forest. On our recap show, we talked about Arsenal and how much they've been able to improve and also improve the depth in their squad, which is what they had lacking last season. Forest, I think it's going to be the same story with Forest. Back them at home for an over 2.5 team and fade them when they go on the road, and certainly when they go on the road to the Emirates here. Matt, I know last season a City City Arsenal parlay was kind of a popular trend amongst us. Maybe we would kind of alternate who was playing that parlay. Week 1, City Arsenal, I think, is another viable parlay.
Yeah, talks just opened up today. Matt Turner, the USA goalie, it sounds like he's going to go to Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume that Arsenal would slow up that deal so that he doesn't start.
Love that.
I mean, I would wait till that's agreed right after this match.
I love
Uh,
that.
so, so yeah, I think Arsenal. This is a perfect week 1 matchup for them. I mean, they get the job done here, and they probably score more than what their team like. What do we have on a team total here? Probably.
I would feel comfortable doing an over 2.5.
Yeah, it's 2.5. I think that I would be fine with that. I think that Arsenal score 3 here.
3. Yeah, this one shouldn't be a close contest at all. Just love what Arsenal's been doing on the offseason. So that one's pretty straightforward, along with Manchester City, Burnley. One that maybe can have some differing opinions is Bournemouth welcoming West Ham into town. This is one where you start looking at maybe where obviously underdogs can pull off upsets, and I at least Burnley to get some points here, Bournemouth to get some points here, possibly on the double chance. West Ham has really only gotten weaker this transfer window, right? Lost obviously the CDM and Declan Rice, going to lose Scamacca to one of these Italian clubs in Serie A, and haven't done much to bring in at this point on August 4th in terms of reinforcement. So I look for Bournemouth to get a result here. I think a Bournemouth double chance parlay piece is a nice little option if you're out there considering that. West Ham was always a good fade last year on the road. I like Bournemouth in this spot.
Yeah, the only thing that it's going to make it a no bet for me really is, yeah, West Ham are normally really bad on the road, but they took care of Bournemouth with a 6-0 aggregate last season.
Mm-hmm.
Kept 2 clean sheets against them, and so you just wonder if there's some domination here. Maybe that West Ham are just slightly better than Bournemouth here, and yeah. But for a week 1, this one is really tough, very coin flippy.
And take it easy in week 1, folks. I know there's always the new enthusiasm when all the new sports return is to just jump in bet heavy. We don't have any stats. We don't have any trends. That's why Matt and I aren't talking about stats and trends really heavily, as we will, match week number 5. So just take it easy on the bets this week. What about Brighton? They're welcoming the Luton town into. I admittedly don't know much about Luton Town, but I know everything about Brighton. Loved watching them last year. Trust De Zerbi and everything he's doing. I like Brighton to win very comfortably here at home. I think Luton's going to struggle with their high pressing and tempo that they like to do. Matomo, one-on-one take-ons. He's going to be absolutely fantastic in this game as well. Brighton will run away with this one. If you want to do a halftime, full-time result, if you want to do a Brighton team total, I don't know enough about Luton Town to say maybe Brighton on the clean sheet. So I would just maybe do a team total or, like I said, a halftime, full-time with them.
Yeah, I agree with you on just like a team total. But I'm with you that I don't really know enough about Luton here. So I'm just going to kind of use this as a watching brief and see how Brighton are looking, see what kind of formation Luton ends up playing. Are they going to be sitting way back and trying to make it difficult for Brighton? And that's what I would expect here in match day 1 on the road. So, yeah, I think that Brighton probably keep a clean sheet just because I would assume that Luton go in there trying to scrap and claw for a point and sit way back.
Yeah, I would agree. This could also maybe Brighton's off to maybe a touch of a slow start. They could go into this fixture having to replace 2 midfielders in McAllister and Casaledo, potentially, leading up into this match if that deal gets done with Chelsea. So maybe that could, impact their football and their chemistry a little bit. They'll certainly need a new goalkeeper. It looks like Sanchez headed over to Chelsea as well. But there's going to be a golf in class here, I think, at this one. I like Brighton. I think they're going to continue the steps that they made last season. I like Brighton here in this spot. Let's go over to Goodison Park now. We've got Everton taking on Fulham, which I kind of like Sean Dice here in this spot at home at Goodison Park. We know Fulham's going to be without Mitrovic. They've replaced him with Raul Jimenez. They better hold on to Willian. You've been seeing his name pop up in the news with Saudi Arabia. There's a little bit of a tug and war going on with Willian. They need him after losing Mitrovic because I think this offense has already taken a step back. If there's no Willian, then I think Fulham is not going to be an over 2.5 team like they were last season. They're not going to be a team that you can take them to get points on a match week. I like Everton here. Sean Dice. This feels like both teams to score an over 2.5 though. This feels like a 2-1 Everton win.
Yeah, I would be. I think I would be on the unders just because of Dyche and no Mitrovic most likely in the starting 11. So this would be a line checker for me, um, but with a lean towards the under. Just kind of starting it off with a Dyche beauty of an under 2.5. Not enough. There's really not enough attacking quality for either of these teams, I think.
You said, and I thought it was a done deal. You just said Mitrovic might not be in the lineup. Wasn't he confirmed to go to Saudi Arabia? I thought that was a done deal. Maybe I mean,
I don't think it's done. I don't think it's done. He just said that he would never play for Fulham again.
okay, okay. He wants out that bad. I mean, damn. He had a good season last year.
Yeah, he definitely hasn't been transferred yet.
He has been transferred. Okay. Well, if the guy doesn't want to play, then they're certainly not going to put him in the lineup. And you get Raul Jimenez, which will play right into your hands of liking and under at home there at Goodison Park. So look for Sean Dice to get on the right foot this year. I think they're going to be certainly better than last season. I don't think they'll be a relegation scrap kind of team. A team that will be a relegation scrap is this next picture, Sheffield United taking on Crystal Palace. When we did our season-long preview show, I said Crystal Palace is going to be in trouble this season. Another reason why they're going to be in trouble is they don't have that manager, Roy Hodgins, to go get in January because they've now kept him. So what are they going to do in January when they need that managerial bump? They've got like the best managerial bump. They should have brought in some slappy and then called back Roy Hodgins in January when they need that bump. So I think Crystal Palace is a team that'll be floating in the bottom 5 of the league all season long. I don't know a tough about Sheffield United with them coming up from the championship. So I'd probably expect just some low scoring, very boring game. I mean, you're talking about Palace, no Zaha. Olise is on Manchester City's radar as a replacement for Silva. Their offense is going to take a big step back this upcoming season. Let's go this one to stay under 2.5 goals and be very boring.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, this is such another coin flippy game that I have no feel for without seeing any kind of lineups. So this is a very easy pass for me in week one. I mean, there's a lot of passes I think in this week one, really.
Well, there should be because we don't have stats to go off, folks. I want to reiterate that. When I reiterate kind of scaling back your bet volume in week one when you can wait a few weeks and then you can have all this data and feel good about putting your money behind that spot. I agree though. We'll see what Sheffield. And I think I always stayed away. And I know I've got a bet this week on Man City, but I remember last season it was like 3 or 4 match weeks in until I felt comfortable betting the newbie clubs in either direction, whether it was a fade or a tell. I like to feel them out. I don't know anything about these teams coming up.
Yep.
All right, Matt, Newcastle Villa. Why don't you take that one and kick it off for us?
This is a really great match. Yeah. This is a great match. 2 matchups last year that went the complete opposite way. Both home teams crushed. Newcastle in late October, won 4-0 against Villa. That was a Steven Gerrard-led Villa. Then we get an Unai Emery-led Villa, and they wax Newcastle 3-0 at home in April. Something tells me here, Jay, this one is worthy of some goals. Newcastle very strong at home. So I don't want to bet on Villa or Newcastle really. I think that Newcastle very strong at home. That's why they're minus 135. I think that when you stack up these 11s though side by side, you'll say that they're really even. And so I think that there would be like a slight touch of value personally on Villa if I had to bet this. But I think that it's more of like a both teams to score and over 2.5 kind of match. You can see both teams to score is at minus 145 and the total of 2.5 is at minus. So yeah, BTTS, yes. And over 2.5 is around plus 100 ish. I kind of like that. I think that Villa have enough quality to always really be scoring in this league. Yes, Newcastle are pretty feisty at home. They don't concede a ton, but week one, hoping for some nice weather here. I could definitely see there being goals here, and I could see either team grabbing this one.
Got that exactly in my notes as well. A high scoring game, a game in which both teams can probably find the back of the net. I tip the edge just to Newcastle because they're at home and how good their record was last season playing at St. James Park. I think they'll be the one that gets the 3 points. But yeah, an over 2.5. If you want to tackle on both teams to score with that, I'm fine with that. They played in a friendly last month and it was a 3-3 game. When you look at the lineups in that game, it's going to be guys that are going to be involved in this game upcoming this weekend. So, yeah, both teams to score over 2.5 with Newcastle getting the 3 points is how I see this one going. But I think you're right. Two teams that are probably even on paper and even on the field. I expect both of these teams to certainly be in the top half of the table. And even, once again, both these teams fighting for European places. So, I like it. All right. You like goals? I like goals as well.
Draw at 3-1 is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's an even. It should be an even teams, I think, throughout the season.
Yeah. I think that Newcastle are a little bit too highly here.
Yeah, it's just only because they're at home, I think, is St. James. If this line is if it's at Villa Park, it's probably the complete opposite odds. If it's at Villa Park, just respecting who's ever at home at that point.
Yeah, I mean, because generally when a team is at home, let's say Newcastle, if they're plus 120, I think that's what the number is. When then the books basically are saying that the teams are even. So, I mean, they're really saying that Newcastle are like better than Villa, and I'm not really that sure about that.
I'm not that sure, but that's why I said I would feel confident backing them on the money line, but I don't think I'm in agreement with you, though, that they are pretty tight.
Yeah.
Next one we have here is Brentford. They're going to welcome Tottenham in. This is a dream matchup based on last season's stats. The over 2.5 machine with Brentford at home. Combine that with Tottenham was an over 2.5 machine wherever the hell they played. We do get news today that Bayern has, kind of put the ultimatum to Daniel Levy and said, "Hey, Kane's either a deal or no deal after today." So we'll know. Unfortunately, you'll know because we're going to publish this a little bit later. I'm not really concerned whether Harry Kane's on this field or not. That's how much I like the over 2.5. That's how much Tottenham was an over 2.5. Again, machine. Brentford was at home. I like goals in this matchup. I would probably, if I had to pick a winner, probably would pick Brentford due to Tottenham's defensive struggles. It does look like they got that Wolfsburg player over the line. A week, and he's only going to have a week of training. Is that I don't know what that means in terms of playing time. This is an over 2.5 for me, and I'm betting this one.
This is the best bet of the week. This is the one. This is the one to put some of your hard-earned dollars on. I think this is over 2.5. You said it. Don't need to complicate it. I do think that both teams probably find the back of the net, and this one pushes up and over the 2.5. And we're getting a pretty nice line. It looks like it has moved a little bit. I would definitely shop around here. I think I saw an over 2.5 yesterday at minus 120. I'm seeing on DraftKings minus 135 now. So definitely look around, try to snag a minus 125. I'm sure they're out there. Something like that. That's the best bet of the week. I think that Tottenham, they still haven't brought in the defense. It looks like they're getting that deal over the line with Wolfsburg today. But I doubt he starts this one. And so I don't even care. I don't even care when he does start. I mean, I think that they've got some issues in the middle. They've got issues at the back. Maybe if Brentford's keeper transfers before that too, maybe it's a little boost as well.
Yeah, if he goes over to Arsenal, right? Yeah, he's the one that's going to Arsenal. Hey, I never caught the name of who replaced Hugo, or did they just bring up the number 2 guy, whatever his name was?
They got that guy from Italy. We talked we looked. Yep. Formula or something.
Another name I couldn't pronounce, but yeah, you're exactly right. Maybe you do get a boost. Maybe Arsenal has gotten that deal over the line, and Brentford is starting a new goalkeeper, a lesser quality goalkeeper, obviously. So that would be great news for it. Over 2.5. Love it. Best bet of the weekend. I'm in agreement with you. All right, now we get to our 2 clubs with yours up first. Stamford Bridge, where Liverpool is coming into town. I look at this one, and I try and head-to-head obviously matters in soccer. 7 of the last 8 head-to-heads have cashed under 2.5. You got a lot of newness going on with Chelsea, not only player-wise but also system-wise, working in Pochettino there. Liverpool, I'm tipping them to win the 3 points for sure. I like their offensive prowess. I like their midfield changes that they were able to do this season. They'll win the game, but I do think this game also stays under 2.5. And at plus money, with the hit rate in this head-to-head series of 7 in the last 8, I can't ignore that. I will take a chance at the plus money of under 2.5.
Yeah, amazing head-to-head, really. I mean, 4 consecutive 0-0s. 6 consecutive draws. That is wild stuff. Chelsea's my least favorite club in the Premier League, so this one always has a little bit of extra hate. I agree with you. I think that the under 2.5 is probably the right way to look at this one. I do side with Liverpool in the draw no bet market just because yes, it's tough, them going on the road. Stamford Bridge is never an easy place to go play. But when you're just looking at pure continuity on these teams, Chelsea, so many new faces, new manager, and I do, for what it's worth, I bet if you look into the head-to-head between Pochettino and Klopp, I bet Klopp has them pretty good. Let's see what this is.
I know Pochettino's good on City because I always like taking Spurs. I always like taking Spurs against City. To your point, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know versus Klopp, but I will be remembering that when Chelsea does play City.
Here's a perfect one. Here, this is why the draw no bet looks strong, not just because of the rosters, which I still think that Liverpool's. So you go through the roster, check. I think that Liverpool's is stronger at the moment, and then you go into, where it's being played would give a slight nod to Chelsea there, obviously. But I think that the books have this one right with a shade towards Liverpool. It looks like Liverpool have been taking money a little bit. I think they were plus 145 just a couple days ago. Now they're down a little bit. But here's the real one. They've met 11 times, Jason. Klopp has won 6 of those. There's been 4 draws. Pochettino's only beaten Jurgen Klopp 1 time in 11 matches.
Draw no bet.
That's something when you're trying to grind out a bet and trying to find a good angle for that holds some weight for me.
Sure.
Klopp's been with Liverpool for 6 years. This is Pochettino's first official match with Chelsea. And Chelsea have been a club over the last year in turmoil. And let's not, and we talked about it yesterday too, how hot Liverpool were towards the end of last season when they changed formations. Draw no bet, Liverpool looks safe. 6 consecutive draws in the head-to-heads. I think at worst case, I really do think you get your money back. So I agree with the shade towards Liverpool.
I haven't caught any Liverpool's preseason games, but I'm assuming Trent in possession is coming up in the midfield like they did that last month or so.
Has been. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, keep on working it. Yeah, that's only going to strengthen their midfield, obviously, especially up against Chelsea, where I think Liverpool already has the midfield advantage. So, all right, we see that game the same, maybe an under and a Liverpool win.
No more N'Golo Kante, too, to worry about, Jason, with this team.
True. Yeah, so they're going to, we did that preview show, and then after that preview show, I was like, yeah, Matt's right. I think Chelsea's actually going to struggle. I think they're actually going to struggle.
Yeah, I can see them struggling, too.
All right, let's get it on into the last game. It's going to be on Monday. Manchester United taking on Wolves. This was the end of last season. We double dipped in this game. We did under 2.5. We got a good cash, and we did both teams to score no. I'm going to leave off the under 2.5 because I do like how Manchester United has strengthened their midfield through Mason Mount. They've obviously brought in a striker through Højlund, which they desperately needed the striker. So they've just gotten stronger to me. Wolves have gotten significantly weaker, losing Raul Jimenez, losing Adama Traore, losing Ruben Neves, their better player. I'm going to just do the both teams to score no angle they did last year. The both teams to score no angle has also cashed in 8 of the last 9 head-to-heads. Man United here at Old Trafford, they're going to get the 3 points. Wolves is going to be in a relegation scrap all season long, and the struggles will start right off from the gate. Give me a both teams to score no at minus 110 in this fixture with the Man United getting the 3 points.
Yeah, I think Wolves are in a weird funk right now because you look at the manager situation. They've got a good one in Lopetegui. I mean, he's been a manager of Real Madrid, Spain, um, Barcelona. I think. I mean, he's managed a bunch of big clubs. It was a real nice move to get him last season, and he did help them stay up in the league. And he is right now. He's pissed because nobody like Wolves aren't buying anybody, and if you look at the sack race, I mean, this would be your number one guy. You might be able to win the sack race bet in the first like 3 weeks because this guy might just leave the club. So who knows? Yeah, he's not very happy here at all right now. I think that Manchester United win this one pretty comfortably. I think this is 2-0 to United, maybe 3.
Yeah, that's interesting because they haven't brought in any new players to keep him happy. They've done nothing but lose players for him. Yeah, 2 points. I even thought they were, if I recall correctly, reading the paper last year towards the end, weren't they rumored to bring in Nuno Santos back? Like there was rumors of even bringing him back, I thought, to the club. So for sure, if that is true.
Now he's he's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, he got picked up. Somebody scooped him up.
He's the manager of Conte and Fabinho.
Oh, Conte and Fabinho. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Which is a really nice defensive midfield.
Yeah. Right. Is that where Benzema is too? Is that same club?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what. Yep. Benzema. The black and yellow. Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice little defensive midfield and striker up top.
Right. All right, fellas, that's all 10 weeks. Obviously, we didn't go deep and dive into those games like we would on normal match week, but that'll certainly progress as the season unfolds. So we'll give you guys our official bets now as we do. We're going to include something this season. We're going to include both teams between the post parlay of the week. I can only speak for myself that it will make my official card. So when you see me tweet it out, I will be on Brighton team total over 1.5 is my leg. Man City money line is Matt's leg. Between the post parlay of the week -108, and then you can see I'm on 4 other plays with including a parlay.
Yep, very nice. Yeah, I'm on the best bet of the week: Brentford Tottenham over 2.5. Like Jason, -128. I'm sure you can find that right now. And then I'm going to take Liverpool on the draw no bet market. I think that head-to-head Klopp Pochettino has some weight. Yeah,
I think I'll have to look into that. Do you have that price, roughly speaking, off the top of your head?
It's going to be anywhere in the -130 to 140 range.
I think that's well worth a stat. One more thing, fellas. Want to remind you on the NBC Sports Predictor app, that contest is back. So I'm, of course, going to run back the same contest I did last year. In this video description, you can find the information to join that league. Join that league, compete against your fellow Winning Bet supporters, and I'll, again, give away $25 every week to the person who has the most points. Matt, you should come on in this league. Maybe you can win $25. You can take my money. So hop on in that league.
I'm in with that.
Let me give you guys my picks for match week number 1. Again, down in the video description, you can find the link to that. I'll go 1-1 Bournemouth, West Ham. I'll go 1-1 Southampton, Palace, 2-1 Everton, 2-1 Newcastle, 3-1 Brentford, and 1-0 for Liverpool taking down Chelsea. And it's under 2.5. So that's how I'll do it. Get on in the group, take my $25. But better yet, why don't you win $10,000 from NBC? There we go, fellas. We're going to do this every single week. On Thursday will be our aim. So on Thursday, look for these episodes to come out, previewing every single week in the Premier League. Look forward to it all season long with you, Matt.
Me too. Thanks so much, Jason. Yeah, it was a great week.
All right, enjoy the games, and good luck with your bets, everybody. Have a good one. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.